Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, the U.S. military is frustrated with mysterious drone activity in New Jersey. And NASA is looking for a new electronic health record system to support astronauts. It's Monday, December 16th, 2024. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. One quick programming note before we get into the headlines. This will be the last week of Daily Scoop podcast episodes in 2024. After we close things out on Friday, December 20th, we will be off through the new year, returning to kick off 2025 on January 2nd. We've had an amazing 2024 with you, and we can't wait for what's ahead. Thanks so much for being a part of such a special year. Now let's get into today's top headlines. The Defense Department doesn't know who's been flying drones recently near its military installations in New Jersey, and the Pentagon is frustrated by this type of activity, according to a senior official. In recent days and weeks, there have been thousands of reports and tips about drone sightings in New Jersey, as well as other states. Law enforcement agencies have been investigating the reports. In many cases, officials believe that manned aircraft were misidentified as unmanned aerial systems. However, there have been instances of mysterious drone activity over New Jersey, including recently at 2 U.S. military facilities, federal officials told reporters during a background call Saturday afternoon. A Defense Department official said on condition of anonymity that the Pentagon has confirmed sightings at Picatinny Arsenal and Naval Weapons Station Earle. The official said the sightings are not a new issue and that the military has had to deal with drone incursions over a long period. They continued saying, quote, "It's something that we routinely respond to in each and every case. When reporting is cited, we have electronic means to detect and respond, and we train our security personnel to identify, categorize, and then employ their equipment to deny the drone use over our bases." In other news, NASA is researching options to replace an existing electronic health record system that supports some unique patients, astronauts. In a request for information, the agency said it's looking to replace a system that currently holds roughly 30,000 records for NASA employees that date back to the founding of the U.S. space program. The request, which is purely information seeking and may be used to finalize a request for quotes, was initially posted in November, and responses were due on Friday. While the current system, which is installed primarily at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, is understood well and configured for the agency's current workflows, it's limited in its patched-together workarounds, manual processes and procedures, and single points of failure in both system and human terms. That's according to NASA, which also pointed to the lack of an integrated patient portal and challenges with the user interface as drawbacks. A new system, the agency said, could lead to improvements such as automation of process, procedure, and workflow, better data management, robust connectivity to and from NASA systems external to the EHR that are involved in astronaut care, and an environment that's simpler and leaner. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.